Some of them still oozed blood. He could see that Kahlan was covered with the same kinds of cuts and puncture wounds. Her clothes were soaked in blood. But it was not only the blood on the two of them that worried him. Damp air rolling in under the tarp carried an even heavier smell of blood from out beyond the men. There had been people with them, people who had come to help them. His level of alarm rose past his ability to gather his strength. Richard could feel the lingering effects of being healed, and he recognized the shadowy touch of the woman who had been healing him. But since he still ached from cuts and bruises, he knew that while the healing had been started, it hadn't gone beyond that start, much less been completed. He wondered why. On his other side, the side away from Kahlan, he heard something dragged across the floor of the wagon. "Look at this!" the man with the gruff voice said as he pulled it out. For the first time, Richard could see the size of the man's muscled arms as he reached in and lifted the object he had dragged closer. The other man let out a low whistle. How could they have missed that? For that matter, how could they have missed these two? The bigger man glanced around. Messy as everything looks, it must have been the Shun-Tuk. The other's voice lowered with sudden concern. Shun-Tuk? You really think so? From what I know of their ways, I'd say it was them. What would the Shun-Tuk be doing out here? The big man leaned toward his companion. Same as us, hunting for those with souls. This far from their homeland? That seems unlikely. With the barrier wall now breached, what better place to hunt for people with souls? The Shun-Tuk would go anywhere, do anything to find such people, same as us. He lifted an arm around in a quick gesture. We came out to hunt these new lands, didn't we? So would the Shun-Tuk. But they have a vast domain. Are you sure they would venture out? Their domain may be vast and they may be powerful, but the thing they want most they don't have. With the barrier wall breached, they can hunt for it now, the same as us, the same as others. The other man's gaze darted about. Even so, their domain is distant. Do you really think it could be them? This far out from their homeland? I've never encountered the Shun-Tuk myself, and I hope not to. The big man raked his thick fingers back through his wet, stringy hair as he scanned the dark line of trees. But I've heard that they hunt other half-people just for the practice, until they can find those with souls. This looks like their way. They usually hunt at night. With prey out in the open like this, they strike fast and hard with overwhelming numbers. Before anyone has time to see them coming or to react, it's over. They usually eat some of those they fall upon, but they take most for later. Then what about these two? Why would they leave them? They wouldn't. In their rush to eat some of those they captured and to take the rest back with them, they must have missed these two hidden under the tarp. The smaller man picked at a splinter at the end of the wagon bed for a moment as he carefully scanned the countryside. I hear it told that Shun-Tuk often come back to check for returning stragglers. You heard true. Then we should be away from here in case they come back. Once they are overcome with the bloodlust, they would devour us without hesitation. Richard felt powerful fingers grip his ankle. I thought you wanted to eat this one before he dies and his soul can leave him. The other man took hold of Richard's other ankle. Maybe we should take him to a safe place first, where the Shun-Tuk wouldn't be so likely to come across us and interfere. I would hate to be surprised once we get started. We can get a good price for the other. There be those who would pay anything for one with a soul. Even the Shun-Tuk would bargain for such a person. That's a dangerous idea. He thought it over briefly. But you're right. The Shun-Tuk would pay a fortune. The wolfish hunger was back in the bigger man's voice. This one, though, is mine.